I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days.
Welcome to the Rise Room. I'm Tashi, and today we're talking about something that's been stealing our peace for years: the self love deficit. Now, before you roll your eyes like, oh, great, another self care buzzword, or I've heard this before, stay with me. This isn't a Pinterest quote. This is about why so many of us are tired, empty, and still smiling for everyone else like we're fine. I didn't even realize this was a real thing until I came across therapist and author Rose Rosenberg. He calls it self-love deficit disorder instead of just codependency. And honestly, that shift made it all make sense. Codependency, simply put, is when you try so hard to be everything for everyone that you forget how to be anything for yourself. And that hit me hard. The real problem isn't loving people too much. It's not loving yourself enough to stop bleeding for people who wouldn't even hand you a band-aid. So what does this look like in real life? If you're always the one checking on everyone, but no one's checking on you, if you're feeling guilty just for needing something back, if you're staying in relationships that drain you because leaving feels scarier than staying, if you keep hoping somebody will pour into you the way you pour into them, if you're smiling like everything's fine, but on the inside you're tired and feeling invisible, you can be in a relationship, you can be a parent, a CEO, a best friend, and still feel like no one really sees you. That's not weakness, that's conditioning. Most of the time, this conditioning started way before adulthood. A lot of us were raised by people who just didn't have the tools. They weren't emotionally available. They were inconsistent. They were distracted. Some of them were maybe even narcissists. And as a kid, we learned, like from early on, that love was something we had to earn. That our feelings were too much or they don't matter at all. And that keeping the peace is our job. And that was how we were going to survive. And then we grew up and we don't even realize we're still doing the same thing. We think we're being loyal, strong, nurturing, but what we really are is exhausted. We're living life for everybody but ourselves, watching our own lives like a movie we don't even star in. The part that hit me hard is that you can be married, you can have kids, a business, a social circle, and still feel like nobody truly sees you. There's a loneliness that doesn't even look lonely. Like you're screaming inside, but it's on mute. That's what Rosenberg calls pathological loneliness. And when you've got that, you don't even chase healthy love anymore. You chase what's familiar, even if it's hurting you, because familiarity feels like home to you. So people with self-love deficit, they're often attracting narcissists, takers, people who are emotionally unavailable. And it's not because they like toxic people, it's because it feels normal. So you're over here overgiving, hoping one day they'll wake up and finally give back. Meanwhile, you're emotionally bankrupt. And let me say this, you have to stop draining yourself just to keep others from drowning. At some point, you have to love yourself enough to say, I deserve more than this. I've been there. I didn't call it the self-love deficit back then. I just thought I was strong. I was the helper. I was the one who was holding people down. But in the process, I was disappearing, giving so much away, I had nothing left for myself. And the minute I started to refill, I drain again. It was a cycle. It was a trap. It was a slow burnout. You should feel seen. You should be considered. You should be supported. You should be respected. And not for what you do or give, but for who you are. When you don't put yourself first, at least sometimes, you slowly stop existing. And the world, it will let you. People get so used to the strong one not needing anything. So you stay where you're not valued because being alone feels scarier. You let people drain you because saying no feels wrong. You let disrespect slide and call it love. And the list goes on and on. Most people don't even know that you can look confident and still have a self love deficit. Confidence and self love aren't the same thing. A lot of people can walk into a room with their head high, dressed to impress, speak well, perform, lead, capture the room, entertain, and still go home at night feeling empty. Because what the world sees is your presentation, and what you feel is your foundation. You can know how to play the part and still struggle deeply with not feeling worthy when no one is watching. Self love isn't about how you look on the outside, it's about how safe you feel with yourself on the inside. Overgiving actually lights up the same brain pathway as addiction. That's crazy, right? When you're always giving, fixing, helping, saving, it triggers a hit of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. That high of being needed can become addictive. So you keep doing more, even when it hurts you, even when you're resentful, even when you're exhausted, because being needed feels like being loved. But here's the thing, when your identity is tied to what you do for others, you stop asking, what do I need for me? And over time, you become addicted to overfunctioning, even when you're running on fumes. Many adults think their childhood was normal, but it was actually emotionally neglect. A lot of us say, I had a good childhood. I had food. I had clothes. I had a roof over my head. And that's real, but that's physical care. Emotional care is something entirely different. If you were never asked how you felt, if your tears were called dramatic, if you had to earn love through performance, if you were praised only when you achieved something or you stayed quiet or you took care of others, then what you experienced may not have been bad, but it also wasn't emotionally safe. And believe it or not, that stays with you. It shows up in your adult relationship, in how you communicate, how you set boundaries, and how you struggle to believe you deserve love without working for it. Staying in draining relationships is usually about avoiding loneliness, not love. Sometimes we're not in love, we're just scared to be alone. And because loneliness can feel unbearable, especially if you've lived with pathological loneliness for years, we settle for crumbs. We accept inconsistency, disrespect, or just plain out emotional unavailability because at least it's someone. But being with someone and still feeling alone is worse than being alone. You deserve a connection that fills you, not just company that drains you. And you don't have to keep choosing pain just because it feels familiar. You can be high achieving and still feel unworthy. A lot of high performers, the ones who always are grinding, checking boxes, are secretly trying to outrun their feelings of just feeling inadequate. It's like this quiet voice that says, if I just succeed enough, maybe I'll finally feel enough. If I do more, maybe they'll love me. Maybe I'll matter. But no matter how many wins you stack, it doesn't touch that inner emptiness. Because worth isn't earned through work, it's rooted in being. You're already worthy. Before the degree, before the awards, before the grind, high achievement without self-worth just becomes another mask, another award. But that shouldn't define you because you're worthy now. This is not a some people thing. This is everywhere. It's generational, it's cultural, it's silent. and it's real. So how do we heal? And sure, the bubble baths and affirmations are cute, but I'm talking about deeper healing, the kind that sticks. First thing you have to do is admit it started before now. This didn't come out of nowhere, and honestly, it's not your fault. Somewhere along the way, you were shown that love had to be earned through being good, quiet, helpful, perfect. Unlearning that belief is step one, because healing starts when you stop blaming yourself for the survival skills you picked up as a child. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for. You show up for other people with grace, patience, compassion. Now it's time to give a little of that back to you. You wouldn't let someone you love go days without rest or kindness or affirmation. So why do you allow yourself to? Start showing up for yourself like someone who matters, because you do. Whether anyone else acknowledges it or not, you do. Boundaries aren't walls. Boundaries don't shut people out. They simply teach people how to treat you. They are proof that you see yourself as someone who deserves peace, respect, and rest. Every boundary you set is a quiet declaration that you exist too. Stop making caretaking your identity. You're not just the helper, the fixer, the one who holds everyone down. You are a whole valuable human being outside of what you do for others. Even if you got up tomorrow and didn't pour into another person, you would still be worthy of love, softness, and care tomorrow. Build self-love, abundance, slowly. You don't wake up one day and suddenly feel whole. Self-love grows in a small daily decisions to choose you. It starts with one kind thought, one brave boundary, one moment of rest without guilt. And each time you honor yourself, something inside you blossoms. And it's not loud and flashy. It's quiet, it's deep, but it's permanent. So for this week's Rise Challenge, for the next 7 days, do one thing a day that's just for you. Even if it's small, say no to something that you would say yes to, even if though you wanted to say no. Rest before you crash out. And the key word is rest before. Speak up once instead of swallowing it. Stand up for yourself. Write down one thing you appreciate about yourself. Buy yourself something nice. Do something you've always wanted to do this week. If you try this, tell me how it goes. DM me, email me, drop a comment. You deserve to feel what it's like to put yourself first. Share this episode with someone who needs it. Like, comment, subscribe. Because the more we talk about this, the fewer people disappear in their own lives. Loving yourself isn't selfish. It's survival, and it's long overdue. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here for another episode. Thank you for being in this room with me. I'm Tashi, and this is the Rise Room. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next episode. Thanks so much for watching again. Until next time, take care of you. Bye, everyone.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.